Hey mathematicians, let's do your homework. Okay, so these are your words. There are 9 of them. So make sure that you have 9 different cards. If you don't have a hole puncher, don't worry about it. We can hole punch them when you come back to class. But make sure you have 9 cards with each of these words, and I'll go through the definitions for you. Remember that I'm not going to pause and wait for you to write them down. You can pause the video. All right, our first word is x-axis. It is the horizontal, the side-to-side number line, and it's always the first one. Oops. Go ahead and pause there. Remember that you don't need to write down both languages, but you do need to do the drawing. The y-axis is the other one. It's the up and down one, which we call the vertical number line. Pause the video. Make sure that you have the drawing and the definition. Next one. The x-coordinate. A coordinate means a number. So it's the x number when you're looking at an ordered pair. For example, the -2, -4 in the parentheses, that is an ordered pair. If you wrote that as your answer for the x-coordinate, it would be wrong because you'd give too much information. All you would need to write is -2, because that's the x number. The next slide is the y-coordinate. Let's see if you can guess which one that is. It's the y number in an ordered pair. So if you have 2, -3, it's that -3, that second number, because that represents the y-axis. Next slide. The origin. Oops, I moved the dot when I was doing something else. The origin is not off to the side. It's right in the center. It's the point where the 2 number lines cross, and it has a specific number, 0, 0, because it's at 0 on the x-axis and 0 on the y-axis, and it crosses right at that point. The origin is where you always start when you're graphing. Next up, speaking of graphing, we have quadrant 1. It's the top right quadrant, and we call it Q1 for short. You can write Q1 on the back, but I need it to say quadrant 1 on the front of your card. Next up, we have quadrant 2. Oh, oops, before we move on. Quadrant 1 is positives. X's are positive, Y's are positive. Quadrant 2, it's the top left. We can write it like that for short, and it's where the x values, the side-to-side values, are negative, but the y, the up and down, are positive. So there will be times when I won't give you a picture, I'll just give you an ordered pair, and you can tell me where it is based on looking at the positives and the negatives. Quadrant 3 is at the bottom on the left, and it's my favorite quadrant. It's all negatives, and I think that it looks like a sleepy owl face. See, there's the face, there's the beak, there are the sleepy eyes. Last quadrant is quadrant 4. It's in the bottom right. We don't write the 4 like 4 lines or a number 4 that we normally write. We write it in the 4 Roman numeral format, and it has positive x values and negative y values. Those are your 9 cards. That will be what your vocab quiz is on Friday.